Right. It looks like it's working. I was struggling to get it to work, so I was struggling to get it to work. Yeah. I'm using Meld Studio, which I've not used before. This is my first stream of Meld. I don't think you can hear the music, which is odd. I need to work out why. I think it's this scene doesn't have the actual game sound. But yeah, we're going to be doing Legends of Runeterra. Um, it's one of those games where it's sort of like dead, but there's reasons for that. Like they give you basically everything quite early on if you're good at it, which kind of affects how you play the game. You can probably hear it now. I've got a little bit of a script I might read off. I can find it. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, that sort of thing. Plan is to do this free to play. It's quite a free to play game. You don't really buy cards other than wild cards, which in fact I might show everybody now. So if you go on the game and you go to store, for example, you have this sort of like deals section where you can spend coins to get these like power-ups and skins and fragments and stuff. But it's not like cards, is it? Do you know what I mean? You know, packs and stuff, vaults and things. It tells you what's in them. Yeah, fragments and relics and stuff. Like if you're buying cards, you're not really buying like packs. You're buying these. So you basically craft what you want. And you can see I've already got some that I had just from playing the game. And I've only been playing it very small amounts. Just AI. No PvP or anything yet. So I've got like the starter decks here. These are the start ones. I'm playing them and just doing the AI. I don't want to go straight into it. The rewards of the regions. These are the regions. The rewards are like these wild cards. Do you know what I mean? So you get them just leveling up the paths for each region, just getting XP, which means the game's very easy to play, free to play, because you don't really need to buy any. It's all cosmetics. You don't really need, all these skins. You don't need them to do well in the game. Again, Battle Pass optional, some of it's free. Like I got this fragments here. There's no one coming up here. Bronze thing. One gold one. And so on. So I think I'm just going to read off my script because I don't feel like the stream's that great at the moment. It's a bit slow. So I'm going to swap to me. With this one. And I'm just going to read off what I wrote. You can agree with it or not. I'm not an expert on Runeterra. I know about League of Legends a little bit. I played that a little bit, and I know about a lot of other collectible card games that I've played over the years. So got that experience. I'm just going to read off what I wrote on my experience of it and what I know of it and where I think it's going and whatever. So I literally started with just hello everybody, Ashley here. I'm going to be playing a fun online digital card game called Legends of Runeterra. It's made by Riot Games, the same company who did League of Legends. It's a very popular game, League of Legends. A lot of people have heard of it or played it and maybe watched the animation called Arcane. That's quite a good series on Netflix. And they've also made some other well-known games like Teamfight Tactics. It's quite popular at the moment, and Valorant. So it's currently, time of filming, March 2025. So this game's been around for about nearly 5 years now, which for a card game to still be around is pretty substantial. It's probably going to stay around, I think, for a lot longer, especially if it gets the support, which it deserves. The art, I like the art mostly. The problem with it, though, is it's been suffering quite badly with the generations of funds from the game. So a lot of people don't actually buy this cosmetics and stuff. They sort of just play the game, experience it. They do a little bit of PvP, maybe get beat by somebody and badly, and they don't keep playing the game. They stop and they go back to something else that they enjoyed. And the devs even quite heavily vocalized the fact that PvP wasn't really working. They were doing like tournaments and it wasn't really getting any traction. It started fading and there were a lot of players were leaving and they were making changes to the game and it didn't really affect that. It made it worse, if anything. So what they started to do was they were giving out too much stuff basically, and everybody was getting everything for free, so they wouldn't need to buy any of the cards or any of the skins. They didn't feel like they needed it. Then I wrote that it's quite similar to, say, Hearthstone or Magic Arena in terms of like a digital card game. So you've got the cosmetics in there to buy and enhance the experience if you wanted to do it. And content creators benefit from having the skins and everything. But it's very free to download. Anybody could download this and play it and have a good go on it. Especially if you play League of Legends, you'll probably enjoy it without even spending any money on it. That's pretty good. There's the ability to play casually with a friend, which is good as well. It's a bit fun. Or just against the AI bot, which is kind of easy. I was beating them with the starter decks most of the time. You can do the Path of Champions mode, which is the PvE mode mostly. That's the main one that they try to focus you on, which I'm going to probably do a bit of today. I've not actually done it yet. I've seen some people play it online. Looks quite good. PvP, they sort of took a backseat in terms of support over time, like I said. but you can play with other people online in both ranked and casual, in both standard and eternal. Standard being obviously the cards that came out more recently, or they've sort of adjusted it to fit around that format. I put there's plenty of skin cosmetics if you didn't want to buy the cards, you just want to just show off the skins or whatever. That's an optional thing. But the artwork, especially like the skins and the cards themselves, is actually quite amazing. When you have a champion card, for example, they've got their own sort of animation that come out and they look really good. And you recognise them if you play League of Legends. So there's a lot of sort of famous characters. I said the artwork's very for me. Like I quite like the idea of there being dragons and skeletons and spirits and merchants and robots, and magical abilities and different creatures. It's quite interesting what they've come up with. So at the time of writing this, I had 371 cards, 371, without spending anything or crafting anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't use any wild cards, and I've not touched PvP. So you do start with quite a decent pool of cards that you can use. It works mostly around the idea of a 40 card deck, with most decks having the potential to run a few champions, in the decks, like up to 6, I think. But they have to be from the regions that you choose for the deck to be around. And then they get the bonus effects as you play. You sort of unlock their bonuses as you play. And then the champions get like extra stats or like a bonus effect when you're trying to win. Quite useful. The regions mechanic is quite clever because you sort of build decks based on the cards that you like the synergies of. And you have to sort of build your deck around that. You can't like differentiate and start putting dragons in like a shadowy control deck. It doesn't really work. You can do like a little bit of both, but you can't do like a really mashup with lots of different types, I guess. So you're kind of stuck into that region, which is good because it means the deck building is quite good. You get a nice variety of different matchups, from what I can tell. You do get to sort of see their champions though when you start, which affects like almost like how you know they're going to play. It's a bit like playing Pokemon and you see that they've got dark energy. You sort of go, okay, well, they're playing dark Pokemon. You can kind of guess what they're doing and you can kind of work out what deck they're playing and so on. Just from that, that's kind of a bit of a tell at the start of the game. So I don't really like that. I feel like it should be a bit more hidden, but it's part of the game. So I noticed that was quite a key part of the game. You can kind of tell what they're doing before you face them off. Now, this game's got this sort of weird, how do I explain it? It's got this weird mechanic where the spells have got a different speed. So you've got like slow and fast, burst. There's one more. Probably forgot what it's called. But like you can kind of use them to change where you're at in the game. So like in the middle of battle, you can like boost something or heal something or attack their creature before they get a chance to react. That sort of thing, which is quite clever. It's a very tactical situation because they might have the ability to cast that sort of spell when you're attacking them, and they can use it to defend themselves, and then come on the crackback, and it can bring you into a situation where you weren't expecting it. Just based on the fact that maybe they didn't play many creatures doesn't mean they haven't got a lot of spells that they can use to fight with. I think the longevity of the game is an issue because they weren't making much money and they probably still aren't making too much out of it. Even now, I don't think this stream's going to be very popular. Not many people are going to watch it. I just wanted to give it a go, see what I thought to it. So I'm just going to start just looking into the game, I think, now. So I'm happy with what I've read. This one. So this is like the main menu. So if you were starting up like today, it's probably sort of what it might look like. You got like this little animation which you can click here and it can do this cool animation. And there's lots of different ones of those that you can look at every time you start it up. This is like your profile, so like I said, 371. I think I probably unlocked, what, 50? I don't know, maybe 100. So I think you probably start with about 300 and something, or somewhere near that. Like I said, I'm not doing very well, because I haven't really been playing it. Like I'm quite low on all my percents are quite low. Yeah. Like my masteries, these are the champions. There's a lot more that I don't have, obviously. Like I said, a lot of characters you might recognise. Just if you've been playing League of Legends or anything like that. Okay, so you got home, which is just this page, so it's kind of useless, that button, it just takes you to this bit. You got your weekly vault, so this is kind of what makes it too easy. You get this every week, and you can level it up just by playing the game. And when you level it up to really high, you get like massive amounts of credits and stuff, you know, these crafting things. So every card can be crafted. So let's say, I don't know, this guy. He's a common, yeah? So you could use these wild cards, to just get one. Or you could craft it with these shards that you get by playing the game. Or you could also get it with coins, which is like money. So you can kind of buy your way through it as well. Kind of. That's like buying a wild card. Obviously, if you want 3 of them, you want to get 3, yeah? But you do get them just by leveling up the regions and stuff, so crafting is a bit like a second thought anyway. You only really do it unless you really want the card. At least that's my experience from what I can think of sometimes. Okay. So now I'm kind of in the deck menu. I might as well show it off. So you've got your decks. I've got some decks here. You got your cards, which is every card, including Eternal, and then you can sort it by the standard and the regions. So for example, Noxus cards, you can see every Noxus card, and you can see every standard Noxus card. And you can also see the ones you have and don't have. That's quite useful. Now every card, you can see it and read it without owning it, which is quite nice. Some games you don't get to see what they are. It gives you question marks or something. This is quite good, you can see what they are. So I could say, okay, I really want this card, you know, and I could be like, oh, okay, so I could buy it with the shards, or I could just trade a wild card for it, depending on the rarity. The artwork's amazing in this game. Honestly, it's probably one of the best parts of the game, in my opinion. They've put a lot of work into the artwork. You can see some of these examples are quite impressive. Got their own sort of style as well, which I like. Yeah, you can also search. So let's say, I don't know, Dragon. Dragon's a good example of something that a lot of people search. Obviously, I searched Noxus, so I probably shouldn't have done that. Regions. Yeah. So then it's going to come up with cards that's either say or are dragons. You know, so you've got these Imperial dragons, for example. Yeah. These are cosmetics, like I said, that you might own. You can put them on and use them. For example, I've got Turning 4. I'm not entirely sure how I got it, but I'm guessing I played it on year 4 of the game and got given it or something. And these are sort of an example of what the emotes look like in game, like if you were to, I don't know, lose one of your creatures or something, and you might be like, oh, sad Poro. These giant gem things are for prismatic cards if you want to upgrade them to prismatic here. So it turns them into like a shiny version. I think I've only got one prismatic. I think mine's like Captain something. Is it Captain? Yeah, Pharaon. There you go. You see, I've got. It looks like he's prismatic. He's shiny. Yeah. I'm not even sure how I got it, to be honest. I'm guessing it's quite easy to get them eventually. So, what else have I not shown? So I kind of showed the rewards. So if you were to pick a specific region, specific type of deck you want to build, for example, I'm doing Targon now for some reason. I've just not done Targon at all. But I was doing, let's have a look, what was I doing? I was doing Ionia for a bit and Piltover Resort. So I was doing them for a bit, and you get those cards when you do it. So if I was to keep doing this, I would get Targon chests, Targon capsules, Targon chest, Targon capsule, yeah? Cards Targon in it. So it doesn't say that, it just says 3 rares, an epic, and a champion. But that means a champion that's from Targon. Yeah? That's quite important to know. Okay. What else? I think that's the gist of it. So what I might do is I'll just do an AI. Well, you got challenges. I did all the challenges. That's fair. I did all the challenges. That teaches you the game. Pretty much. Teaches you the game. You just do them. You get like a little mission reward bar and you work your way along. Doing the challenges and so on. It wasn't that difficult. Kind of resets you as well if you fail. You just let you do it again. So if you click play, it's like PvP, and you can just play like Eternal Casual. Yeah, we'll click on this, Eternal Ranked, or Standard Ranked, Standard Casual. So I'm going to do an AI, and I'm just going to use the first one because that's what people will probably do. The first time they try it, they'll probably do this, right? So we're going to do that. It's quite quick because it's AI. It gets into it really quick. So you can see what they're using. That's quite important. So it looks like they're Ionia, sort of like ninjas. Okay. So my first thought here is, you have 20 life, or health, I suppose. And the cards cost like these mana crystal things here, which go up and down depending on the turns. A bit like Hearthstone, right? So looking at this hand, I have quite low creatures here, 3s and 1s. And I have a 2 spell, which is fast. So if I look at it, it says fast can be played whenever you may act. Happens after your opponent has a chance to react. So I can kind of like use it in response. And then just hit them all. Yeah? So that can be good, like if they've got like a big board, I can like hit them, weaken them, take them out. So you got like the attack and the health, the name of the card, which region they're from, sort of like their type, and then like their like abilities or keywords. I guess they're keywords. Traits. Yeah? So overwhelm here. If you want to know what it is, you hover over it and it tells you. So it's excess damage gets damage to them. to their health bar. So if you're 4 attack and they have 2 defense, health, whatever. Is it called health? Yeah, it's called health. It will do the excess to the damage of the Nexus. So this can like pierce through. Another way of looking at it is like piercing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or trample in Magic. It pierces through them. So this is quite an aggressive card. So it's like, do I want this aggressive card? It comes out turn 3, 4, 5, something like that. Do I need it? This is what you need to be thinking with the mulligan. So this one is quite a cheap, easy one to get out. I could get that out turn 1, turn 2 easily. And when I attack with anything, it will do 1 damage. She'll throw a bomb or something at the enemy Nexus. If she's alive. This one, he's just aggressive. He's a strong, kind of bulky guy. Comes out. He's a bit like a Yeti, for example, in Hearthstone. That's a good example of a comparison. He's sort of like strong, comes out, but he can't block. This one can't block. He's aggressive, he hits hard, but he can't block anything. So, what would I get rid of? Now, just from my experience, I find that this card's not very good. At least not in this deck. It might be good in like a bit more of a mini small creatures aggro type build, but I feel like in this one, it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really do much. So I'm actually going to get rid of this, even though it's my turn 1 sort of creature. I don't really want that. But I'm going to keep the rest, because these are quite aggressive. I know he's playing Ionia, so I might try and go aggressive. Right. So we swapped into this. Now I'm probably overreading these cards, but this card's quite useful. So Plunder, it tells you what it does. So a card activates its Plunder ability when played if you damage the enemy Nexus this round. So if you've hit them during the round at all, and then play this, it gets this ability. So it gets a buff of 1 power and 1 health. And Grant is like a permanent buff. It's not a temporary. So he'll just become a free, right? If he's played to activate the Plunder cost, if there's already been damage. So I could play him now, which I think most people, knowing it's their 1 cost card, would probably play it. So, and because I'm trying to be aggressive, I probably want to get the damage in quick. So, and I am on the attacking. If you see here, it says your attack token is illuminated. You can initiate an attack. So I can attack with him right now. If I play it, he'll go there, and I can tap the Nexus.
Like
this.
Let's get to it.
And then you have to commit it. Yeah? Now I also drew this. I'm surprised they didn't play anything. Well, they have played something. Okay. It just took a bit longer than I thought. So this is strike, reduce the cost of the most expensive unit in hand. So they're trying to like mana cheat. They're trying to speed up and rush into a card that they want to get out now. So this I could play now, but it's 3 different randomly targeted enemies. So it might go 1, 1, 1, I think, or it might go 1, 1, 1, or it might go 1, 1, 1. You know, it might split it differently. So this one says support. So you go, okay, so what's support? Attacking with a support unit will buff the unit to its right. So I can place this to the left, right? No, you can't. Can't place it to the left. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Maybe you can, I don't know. Is that to the left? It might do. That might do to the left. I don't know, you probably can. Anyway, give my supported ally a quick attack this round. So this round, when I attack with a support unit, it will buff the unit to its right. I think that means when you're attacking, so I think it means when it's in this bit. So if I was to put her there, and then him there when I'm attacking, this would buff this by giving it quick attack. And quick attack means it attacks before they block. So they don't do the damage at the same time as you. You do the damage first, and then if it destroys them, they don't do any damage to you. So. Right. So I'm going to actually play this.
The world awaits! Forward!
Okay. I'm just going to have a little rest for a second. Okay. So I'm thinking. Now, players who are new will do this. They will overthink. The AI is not particularly difficult. I don't really want to lose my creatures because I want to aggressively attack them next turn. Is a way to look at it. So I think I'm just going to let this happen. It's only 2 damage. Now, I think he reduces the cost. If I attack him, does it still affect? Get this effect when a unit attempts to deal damage using its power. Yeah. So I think it will still get the effect, right? I think it does. If I destroy it, I think it still gets the effect. So I'm just going to let it do it.
Other reinforcements!
Okay. Right, so we've got these guys now, which is worth remembering that they're quite strong. So if we need something big or we want to attack them and do lots of damage, this is a good option, right? Now this we can use to interact on their turn when they're attacking us. That could be a good plan. This is our champion, one of our champions. And if you want to know more about it, you can like do this and like look at the spells and the level 2. So they got this level up mechanic here. Yeah? So if they're low health, he gets buffed basically into this. He levels up into this. Which looks amazing. I mean, the art in this game is so cool. I think it's so cool. Right. So, he's good to try and save up for. Now this is another spell. So this one's a burst one. So it can be played whenever you may act. It happens instantly and allows you to continue to play other cards. So it's almost like you don't play it. It's almost like it didn't exist. It's like it's so fast you just keep spamming out more cards. It doesn't sort of let them have a go and then you have a go. Sort of like you get an extra play. Whereas fast was it happens after your opponent has a chance to react. So they get a chance to still do something in response. So I think I'm going to play the ballista here. And we're going to go
Show them the might of Noxus!
like this.
The day don't need riches.
Intruder! Get him! They're here! Sound the alarm! Where there is life, there is hope.
So they're playing lots of stuff now because the AI is quite quick. It just does it. So anybody looking at that now be like, I'm sorry, what just happened? They played 2 cards, something happened, it did this weird green effect. You know, you don't know really. You have to like look at it. So if you read it, it says in the round end, you create in hand a random spell from your regions. So it's going to create a random Ionia spell into their hand. So they've got one. There's no way to look at it. And of course, she's a champion, so enlightened when you have 10 mana. Yeah? So when you hit the 10 mana, you get enlightened and you level up. Then you become this, which creates more random spells, copies it, and so on. She also played this, which when you summon grant all allies in hands, so she buffed everything in her hand as well. It's kind of insane actually. And these are quite strong attack wise. Health wise they're kind of weak. So I could do Make It Rain here, that is an option. It's not a bad option. Trying to think, if I pass, I think the mana goes into these crystals. I might just... I want to get rid of this if I can. I think I'm going to Make It Rain just to sort of show it off. Yeah. So one got destroyed, this one got hit, and that got hit. And this guy's just come out of nowhere. They just played a 1-cost horror which has quick attack. So do I want to do this? This is quite an aggressive card. You can use it, like I say, burst it. And the mana, I'm pretty sure, carries over here, so I don't think I need to really. Does it tell you that? Yeah, up to 3 unspent mana is banked at the end of the round for playing spells. So I think this will end the round and it will go into there. I don't think I need to play it now. Yeah, so I banked it here. Okay. If anybody's got any questions, by the way, it's a good time to ask. So, I think now the play is 5 mana. We play big guy.
These woods protect their own.
Okay. So it's just like a barrier booster to boost her attack. Okay. I think that's kind of what this does, like these spells. Yeah, karma. Not entirely sure why she's getting random spells, but yeah. This is probably a good time to Brothers Bond, because it's permanent buff as well. And this guy's aggressive, this guy's aggressive, this guy's just back up. This gives them overwhelm, so I could pierce through them. So this guy could pierce through, for example. That could be quite a strong move there. I think this is definitely attacking.
Sword!
I think they have to attack with everything. Like, it tells you how much damage. If they don't block it, they're dead. So now it's like, well, could I pierce through them a bit more? Or buff them up a bit more? And Is it worth it? I think I'm gonna Brothers Bond here. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
My life for these lands.
Ooh, okay. So if we hit them with the Make It Rain, it might destroy this, right? And this is being recalled. I think I'm going to do it, just see what happens. Wow, okay, interesting. So we can probably play Darius next turn, right?
Ionia speaks through me.
Yeah, because they're so weak now, he's going to get this big buff.
Nonsense. I have my orders.
The body must
Ooh,
thrive
healing,
for the mind
okay.
to be free.
Interesting, they play healing. They might have got that randomly from the iron, a potion or whatever. Let's see. He's got Overwhelm already, so this doesn't really help much. It just gives him 3 more attack, but Overwhelm, so what's that, 13 into 3, 10. I mean, it might win me the game. When allies attack, do 1 damage to all battling enemies and enemy nexus. And Pirouette is a slow spell. So you have to do this like on your turn. Sort of like one of the first things you have to do is slow. It's slower. Outside of combat, so you don't do it before you attack. Yeah, sorry, I said the wrong thing. You do it before you attack so that you can actually play it. If you try and play it when they're attacking it, it won't do anything. But it does stun, so they can't block for the rest of the round. So that in theory could let me do the 10 damage. So I think I'm going to go Misfortune.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
And then Pirouette. And then attack. Attack.
By force of will.
Oh, he stunned me. Okay.
Love ya.
Interesting. Do you see what I mean about like how you can sort of change the game?
The space between
like
worlds.
mid-combat. Right. Deal 4 to the enemy nexus, create a Darius. This is temporary buff. You can use it during the battle. And this guy has barrier. So he's like protected from damage. I don't understand if barrier lets you... Yeah, it negates the last damage it would take. I don't know if it negates the overwhelm because it's excess that you dealt to your blocker. Yeah, so I do think it negates it. And it's all this round, isn't it? Yeah. The next damage. So I could hit them with this and hit through and do 5. I think. Maybe 8 with might burst. It might work if I do that. We're gonna try it, I think. So we're gonna do this. Oh, it damages the Nexus. I read it wrong. Do I want to do that then? I mean, it seems silly not to actually. Yeah. Okay. Drawing. I don't think I want to do this. I'll probably bank these spell.
Hit him where it hurts. It must be done.
So is it worth blocking it? It's only 3 damage. He'll lose the barrier anyway, right? I don't think you need to. And this should carry over. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll play the ballista. You don't really need the overwhelm, but the extra damage might win you the game. I'm pretty sure you can do it when you are in like combat phase, right? I don't think it really matters anyway, but I'm gonna just see.
There is no dispute.
Yeah, so I could do now. So what's he doing? He's stunning here. So what's this? 4, 5. So that's 8 into. No, 7 into 5. That's 2. This guy's getting stunned. Is it worth doing it to kill this? I think it probably is.
As it had to be. Who's ready to wreck it?
Let's get it, crew. Take the high ground.
I think we attack with everything at this point.
Aim.
But this guy's got overwhelm anyway.
Will rise.
So unless he like stuns me again, I'm pretty sure we've won. But...
I see you there.
yeah. Okay, so that's the winning animation.
We have done well. Noxus is proud.
And these are like your quests. So you can see here, I did 1, progressed 5, got 8 tokens on the battle pass here. It just gives you these things, you know. And I get boosted XP for the region. Because it's like low level. So this is the XP going into the region and going into the vault. This is like my level up points, I guess, for the champions that were in the deck. I can see what they were using. It's quite clever how you can do that. Can't properly like look at it, I don't think, but it's Shen and Karma. You know, you can see 4 champions, 2 of each. They're just playing 2s of everything. And this is like their cosmetics, the logo, the name. Yeah, so there you go. That's the gist. As an example, that's just one of the decks. You see, it's quite aggressive. Tries to overwhelm and pierce through them, or hit them with like cannonballs and buff them a bit as well. Bit of buffing. mostly in the attack stat. Quick attacks. A little bit of a swarm here. This one gets brash. What's brash do? Can only be blocked by enemies with 3 or more health. That's quite useful, I guess. There's a lot of plundering as well. Plunder's all in there. There's quite a few spells that you can use to try and win with. We didn't get this guy, but this guy gives you coins. Coins give you like mana, a bit like in Hearthstone. And obviously Farron's in this deck. I don't know if that's maybe where I got it from. I'm not sure. But this guy's good because he gives you those decimates, which gives you the damage to the Nexus, which was quite useful. I kind of want us to the game there. And then you get this guy as well, which looks amazing. It is so cool. Yeah. So I think, just because this is episode 1, and it's a bit slow, I'm going to claim this here that I unlocked. Show you what's in it. So I got a relic item. So when I'm stunned, stun the strongest enemy. So it's quite useful to get that for free. And you can check in the store if you can buy anything, with what you've got. But I think I'm going to leave it there for the first episode, because this is going to be a little bit of a series where I sort of just play it. So these are the daily quests that you got just for playing. And it gives you different rewards for each thing. So if you try and work your way through them, try and do all the rewards. Some of them are time gated, because they're like events. They're like newer or whatever. I think I'm going to leave it there for episode 1, because it was one match, I won it, it was simple, it was a good way to teach people the game. I've explained most of this here and it's very self-explanatory. I didn't go into Path of Champions yet, that's probably what I might do the next time. Or I'll do another AI and show off some more decks and so on. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave this one now.